Hey, hello anybody watching this video. Well, I'm working on my 2006 Audi A4 and I'm replacing the driver's side headlight. This is a HID headlight, this kind, fancy. And so, two ways to do it: remove the bumper assembly, the bumper cover, and remove the headlight and do it outside, right? Or with the headlight hanging in there. Or another way, if you don't want to mess with removing the bumper, which has a bunch of screws on the side, on the bottom, if you still happen to have the skid plate, and then obviously this type of headlights, when you mount them, you kind of have to line them up so that they have the right gap over here. So if you don't want to mess with any of that, I suggest you do it this way. This is the way I'm doing it. It works for me. I already had taken everything apart. I just put it back in there for instruction purposes here. So basically this is a power steering reservoir. It's got two screws holding it, one there and the other one, let me turn the light on, in there. Okay, remove those two screws, get rid of the fluid. You can either dump it in there, put a container on the bottom, or you can use something like this to suck the fluid out of there. Then remove the two hoses attached to it. You don't have to mark them. They're both of them are different sizes, so no problem. Two clamps, this one and this one. That's all it takes. Remove the hoses. This thing comes out. This bracket over here, it's kind of like on the way, but you just bend the bracket back this way a little bit, just enough, and then the reservoir should come right out. Okay, this piece right here sits right in that hole, so the only two screws holding or bolts holding this reservoir is this two over here. So we're gonna put this out of the way, and I already removed the cover here, but let me show you here. This is the cover. It goes and like kind of a pain in the ass to put it back in there. Okay, it goes in like that. Okay, and then it has two screws holding it, one right there and the other one right here. Okay, now these wires, you can kind of move them around so you can get a tool in it. That's where a kit like this comes in handy. If you have a European car, definitely get one of these kits because you're gonna use them a lot. All these bits right over here. So the bit I'm using here is a number 20. It's a Torx. These are the screws. Okay, remove those two, remove this cap, and there you have it. Now this is electrical connector right here, and this is a little harness. You can see this harness is kind of crimped in there. That's a holder for the harness. Definitely, before removing the light bulb, get a hook in there. In this case, I'm using this one. Okay, let me see if I can do this with one hand. Show you. Maybe not. Let me pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the harness out of there. With the harness out, now we're just pushing this clip, push it out of the way. Push this one out too. Let's see. Okay, and the entire thing is loose. Okay, now this connector right here, it's a pain in the ass. So if you do what I tell you, what I just told you about unhooking the wire and harness out of the one retainer, then you can get the entire thing out just like so. Okay, I'm not worrying about touching the light bulb right now because this happens to be the old one. I put it back in there just to show you. Okay, and then over here, grab a screwdriver, pry on it up like that. and then you should be able to disconnect the connector. Let me get this disconnected and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just pry the metal bracket retainer there up on both sides. Okay, it still won't come out, but you can put a screwdriver right in between the plastic there and the metal portion of the ballast here of the HID. Let me see if I can get this done with one hand. Let's take a look. Maybe not. Maybe like so. Over here. And it comes out. Okay. Now, notice this connector. Okay, let me see. It's all messed up. And the way it goes is that you have to push the plastic portion of the connector down. Okay, and both of those clips you see on both sides of the connector have to be on this side of the connector. You notice there is a step on the plastic side of the connector there, so it has to be on this side of that step. Okay, then you just connect your new one and then press on these two and it should clip right on. So in case this thing comes apart on you, this is the way it's supposed to be before you plug your new one back in there. And so for putting it back together, then I guess go the opposite direction and you should be good to go. Anyhow, I hope this helps somebody. This is the way I did it. It works for me. I don't have to mess with the entire bumper, removing the headlight or anything. Just a little bit of fluid, and in this case it's kind of good for me because at the same time I'm kind of servicing the power steering system. There is a screen in every power steering reservoir, and since I have this reservoir out, I'm going to clean this thing out because a lot of stuff accumulates in there, and then next thing you know is preventing the flow of fluid, causing low pressure and low volume. So you kind of do the two things at the same time there, so I figure why not. Alright, I decided to continue this video just to show you. I did show you the bit I'm using, but I did not show you the tool itself. So this is a ratchet, goes right here in my set, and this is what I'm using to be able to remove the 1 bolt in there from the cover. Okay, just to show you.